Y'all, UFC 305 ended last night. I had to get back on here and tell y'all the results on that if you didn't catch it. Um, the Drake curse is real. The Drake curse is real. Every time this dude bet on somebody in the main event, 9 times out of 10 they end up losing the fight. I wish I would have seen this parlay. I mean, this bet that he made before the UFC, and I would have went the other way on the bet. Probably, but I was really rocking with Stylebender. But we'll get into that in a second. I want to start from the bottom of the card. Like I said, man, this was a solid card. We had two knockouts and one submission on the main card. So 3 out of 5 fights ended quick earlier. Great card, man. I like the way that the matchups, everything looked at just about even. Besides one match, actually 2 matches that just. Let me take that back. None of them matches look. I like the matchups that were made, but I just didn't expect motherfuckers to get smoked. And that's exactly what happened. Start with the first fight on the card. We had Li Jingliang versus Carlos Pratt. I never seen Pratt fight before. I didn't know this dude was on a 9-fight win streak. That's my fault. But like I said, when it comes to my opinions, I'm going with the fan favorites for most of the part. I just like seeing the underdogs win. But if it comes to these parlays, I gotta start thinking smarter, man, because I gotta stop. I've been picking some dudes that just be getting knocked the fuck out. Li Jingliang, I thought that he was gonna be able to put pressure on Carlos. I know Carlos was a bigger dude, but I thought he was gonna be able to get to the body and take him down and knock him out. He wasn't able to do that at all. Pratt used his jab to keep him back. He kicked him with them jabs. With his arms being so long, he was just piecing him up, turning Lee body, and finally caught him on the cage and slept that motherfucker. Went straight to sleep. He knocked him out in round 2. TKO for Carlos Pratt. He is down on a 10-fight win streak. He said he won't win them top dogs. He wants somebody in the top 10. So salute to him for that win. Jarzinho Rosenstrike went on against the fight. Tia Tavasa. I went for Tavasa to win this one. He got picked apart for the most part. Rosenstrike used his jabs, pieced him up. He kept his kicks as he was a former kickboxer. He kept the distance, didn't let Tua get too close to him. Every time he did, he got up out that situation quick. So he took that to the split decision. He won every round. With this fight, out of the 3 judges, 1 judge gave every round to Tavasa. The fight wasn't even close. I don't know why they did that, but Dana made the call and said, hey, you relieved for the night. You go ahead and take your ass up out the stadium because you just fucked up. You know damn well this fight wasn't close. I say Rosenstrike won pretty much all 3 rounds. That's my guess. I think he won all 3 rounds. But salute to Rosenstrike, man. He proved me wrong. Usually when I bet on him, he ended up getting beat down. But he's finding his way, staying in the top 10. So salute to him. Third fight on the card was Gamrot versus Dan Hooker. With this fight, I picked Dan Hooker to win. He won by split decision. It went all 3 rounds. The only thing with this fight is like when I make my predictions, I'm going for the fighters. But if I believe that it wasn't a real victory for the person that wins, then I'm gonna be real with it. And this is one of those situations. I don't believe Dan Hooker won that fight at all. Looking at the numbers, Gamrot outstruck him 88-82. Significant strikes. Gamrot had 64. Hooker had 65. The key thing here, and this is what usually happens, if it's not a knockdown or if it's close on the hands, you have to see what happens with the takedowns. Who was the wrestler in this? And it was Gamrot. He got 5 takedowns on Dan Hooker. How they gave this win to Dan Hooker, I don't know. At the end of the fight, you can see it looked like Hooker got jumped by 2 motherfuckers. You know Gamrot got a brother in the UFC. It looked like they jumped him. Like, as soon as he got to round 2, he sent his brother in and beat on the left eye, and the other Gamrot brother was beating on the right eye. I don't know how they got this one wrong, but for them to relieve the last person and that said Tavasa won and then go on to make a fucked up judge's card like this, it's like I don't know what the UFC be having going on, and that's why I be praying for knockouts for the most part, because if you don't knock the fighter out, it's gonna be sketchy if it comes down between the strikes, because usually the takedowns will help it out. But if it's close on the hands, they gotta go to the takedowns and see who had the most takedowns and control time. And he simply had at least 4 minutes of takedown. He beat him up pretty good. Like I said, he was busted all up. I believe he got robbed out that fight, man. So maybe they could get the rematch on that. or Gamrot figures out. Hooker gonna get set up now because he's just gonna fight better fighters. So I got Hooker get knocked the fuck out his next fight because usually when a motherfucker come off a win that they're not supposed to win, they end up getting cooked. So more power to Hooker though for winning the fight. The next fight, this is the fight I dozed off on because I was tired as hell, man. Had steak and potato last night. I was fighting for these last two fights, man. But Kaya Care Friends versus Steve Urchich. I had Care Friends winning this fight, and he won it in the first round by knockout. I went and looked at the highlights on this one. He just pretty much pieced up Urchich. Urchich punched him up when he got close, made him faint. He hit the Undertaker, fell straight back, got up, got punched up a little bit more on the other side of the cage, and was knocked out. So salute to Care Friends for winning that co-main event. The main event of the evening, Drake lives on, man. He continues to fuck up people. Every time he bet on him, they end up losing. Dirkus Duplessis, the defending champ at middleweight, put his belt on the line against Israel Alessandra, aka Stylebender. This fight went 4 rounds. I had it. I want to say it was possibly 2-2. And the only thing I say is that I think that Stylebender was outlanding him on the feet and I'm pretty sure on the feet and hands. Let's see here. I'll take that back. No, wait a minute. Wrong one. Yes, Israel Alessandra had 105 strikes to 99 of Dirkus Duplessis. Now that's a close fight, but he had 4 takedowns. Duplessis, he stuck to it. I said he's like a GSP. He got the laying on him, and finally that final takedown, he punched Stylebender to the cage, and his body turned. He was able to jump on his back and take him down and grab his neck and choke him out. Drake betted like 300K on this dude on Stylebender, and he fucking lost the fight, man. So after the fight, I thought it was gonna be a little couple of problems because Duplessis got in his face after he choked him out and got up, but it was all love. They showed respect to each other. He said that Stylebender is one of the greatest middleweights in the division in history. He big up to him. Stylebender went on to say, "Hey, man, I knew that I took it personal with the whole Africa thing, but we all kings from Africa now. Blah blah blah. Duplessis will now be fighting Strickland again for the belt since Strickland's the #1 contender. I don't know what's next for Stylebender. He's been fighting top fights since he's been in the UFC, but like I said, I think he'll get a lesser of opponent to get back on the winning side. This was his first time losing 2 in a row. So salute to Stylebender, man. Hope he come back stronger. But Duplessis, he's been looking good, man. He beat Whitaker, he beat Strickland, and now he beat Stylebender. He beat the top dudes in the division. So, like I said, if he beat Strickland again, man, you got to put Duplessis up there in that division as one of the greats. As long as he keep on cleaning out the division. So we'll see how long he can hold on to this belt. That's all I have for UFC 305 results. Like, share, subscribe.